This is 88.5 WXPN HD1 Philadelphia, 88.7 WXPH HD1 Middletown, 91.9 WXPJ HD1 Hackettstown, 90.5 WKHS Wharton, and streaming at xpn.org. Member-supported radio from the University of Pennsylvania.
The Philadelphia Orchestra supports XPN. On February 7th, the Philadelphia Orchestra performs Peter and the Wolf, Prokofiev's musical tale. This family-friendly performance brings the story of Peter, his grandfather, and the wolf to life through narration and orchestra, with each character represented by a different instrument. Families can experience how music and storytelling come together on the concert stage. Tickets are available at philorg.org.
It's Kids Corner. I'm Kathy O Connell, and joining me in the Kids Corner studio, sitting down, I might point out, are the creators of We Stood Up, a really wonderful CD teaching tool experience of, well, Rodney Wittenberg, my old friend, please, how do you describe We Stood Up?
We Stood Up is an audio anthology of interviews with civil rights leaders, the people who were there on the front line, their own personal stories, and it's connected with poems and songs and stories that sort of, I guess, punctuate and animate and bring to life the stories that the civil rights leaders are telling.
And Allison Green has also joined us in the Kids Corner studio. She is the Chief Diversity Officer for the Lincoln Financial Group, and your company kind of animated this project and kind of made that possible. What do you do for a living? What is your job as Chief Diversity Officer, and how does that relate to a project like We Stood Up?
So the anthology is called We Stood Up, as you mentioned, and that relates directly to diversity because as you think about the civil rights movement, and even before that with Abraham Lincoln, and his legacy of freedom, opportunity, and equality. When I think about diversity and inclusion inside of a corporation, it's doing those same things. It's ensuring that people have equal opportunity to compete, to get into a corporation, and to thrive in a corporation. And it's about standing up for what you believe in, being who you are, and having that all be included in part of the fabric of corporate America.
Standing up despite the consequences, despite the true, real danger that a lot of the folks, the real life people who were interviewed for this project went through. All right, let's start off by hearing a piece. Now, I have to say right off the bat, one of my favorite voices in all the world belongs to Charlotte Blake Alston, one of our dearest old friends here at Kids Corner. And from the moment I heard her voice on this, it was like a hug. It was like, okay, a dear old friend, a dear teacher is sharing this with me, is sharing all this information. So, well, you mentioned the three words, freedom, opportunity, equality, and that is the theme that goes all through We Stood Up. I want to start with a song that I really love called Free to Be. Can you kind of explain the thinking behind this?
Yeah.
And you, as the producer, as the creative force behind this.
Free to Be is someone that I hope you'll be hearing a lot from in the upcoming years as a kids performer. Her name's Yaya Kavanaugh. And we started working together about 1.5 years ago. She found me and was desperately looking for a producer to help her make kids music. And she's just an amazing singer, an amazing talent, and we've been working on her album, which hopefully I'll be bringing to you at some point in the future, and you can check it out. But I said to her, hey, I'm working on this project. Do you have any ideas? And we got together, and we wrote the song called Free to Be. And it was a way of sort of taking the elements that the civil rights leaders are talking about when they're expressing freedom and really just bringing it down into a song.
I love it. From We Stood Up, Free to Be.
We are free. We are free to be. Through struggle, sacrifice. Some even gave their life. 'Cause we are free. We are free to be. With this legacy comes responsibility. 'Cause we are free. We are free to be. Before long, before hard. Non-violent yet from the start. Fighting evil covered sheep. Segregation for sure we lead. Andrew Young, Julian Bond, John Lewis, yeah, they stay strong. While we struggle from front seats, not just them turned into we. 'Cause we are free. We are free to be. Through struggle, sacrifice, some even gave their life. 'Cause we are free. We are free to be. With this legacy comes responsibility. 'Cause we are free. We are free to be. Not just you, now it's us. Come so far from back of the bus. In all we achieve, you just have to believe. This I know from a dream, recited by Martin Luther King. And there's more for us to do, and I pass that torch to you. We are free. We are free to be. Through struggle, sacrifice, some even gave their lives. 'Cause we are free. We are free to be. With this legacy comes responsibility. 'Cause we are free. We are free to be. We are free to be. We are free to be.
We Stood Up is the project, and a couple of the people who made it possible are here in the Kids Corner studio with me, Rodney Wittenberg and Allison Green. And Allison, this got very personal for you, didn't it? Can you talk about that?
Sure. When outside of the reasons that our company, Lincoln Financial Group, decided to take on this project, we each thought about why would this be important to us individually? And I must acknowledge my colleague, Nancy Rogers, who's president of the Lincoln Financial Foundation, who has really taken a lead in making this happen. And she's responsible for corporate social responsibility as well. When we were thinking about it personally, a story that resonates with me is a few years ago, my nephew, who's now 12, was studying civil rights. And his assignment was to talk with someone who knew about the civil rights movement or had been a part of it. And he called my dad his grandfather. And I heard stories through him about my father being engaged in the civil rights movement, actively playing a part. And these were stories that I never heard growing up because that generation didn't often talk about it. And it was just filled with pride. He was inspired. And we learned more about our direct engagement in it.
Yeah. And that's what's so amazing, that while there are great historical figures on this, that it has such a personal moment for every listener.
Mm-hmm.
I know it brought up memories that, every year, I grew up on Long Island, and every year we drove to Florida on vacation. And I remember things like the separate water fountains, the signs where, colored only and whites only. And I remember seeing that and experiencing it. Well, generations who have come up since then have no context for that. thank goodness, because those days are over. But yet, it's really important to keep that connection with the past. Why?
Well, I think it's one is so we don't repeat it. I mean, that's a really, really important thing. Two, it's to know what the cost of the things that we have now were. We're in an election season. A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to vote," or you hear people say, "Oh, I don't want to vote." And the cost it took for some of us to get that right to vote is so high. And if people don't know it, then we're lost. We're doomed to then go back to where we were. The other thing that's really important is that unfortunately civics isn't taught in school anymore, and I find that really upsetting. So as I started working on this project with Lincoln, one of the things I thought was so important is there was a way of conveying this information to young people that also could be used by families too. Like I kind of always envisioned a family going on a long trip and listening to the CD and then engaging in a conversation about what it all means. What does this mean? I know teachers and librarians can use it that way, but I also think that just families could use it, and it's maybe a way of telling a story about their grandparents or someone they knew, or even if it's a culture that's not yours, being able to literally hear what would it be like to ask these people what it was like then. What was it personally like? Because it's one thing to see the movie Selma, or it's one thing to read it in a book, but when you hear the person who was there and they're telling you what went through their mind and how they were feeling and how they were thinking and how they look back on it, it can be such an amazing learning tool. It can be inspirational and moving.
What I love too is, by the way, you read some of the words of people who are long gone. Lincoln Financial Group, well, Abraham Lincoln is in there. The Emancipation Proclamation is in there. You were going to say something.
I was going to say, you often hear that if you don't understand or know your history, you're destined to repeat it. And as Julian Bond mentions in the anthology, as his grandson asks, "What should we do about this?" he says, "Learn, capture histories, and pass it on." And one of the reasons we wanted to do this was to not only help educate, but inspire children about the legacy of freedom, opportunity, and equality. It's okay when you don't know what to do, to ask questions, stand up, peacefully state what your dreams and desires are. Hold on to that and know that people before you did it, and it's what continues to make our country great.
Well, you mentioned him, so we've got to hear him, because I treasure the piece from Julian Bond when he's talking to his grandson. Let's hear from the great Julian Bond.
My grandfather was a slave, and that means something special to me, because had it not been for Abraham Lincoln, the chances are that I and you would still be living as slaves. But luckily for us, good for us, Lincoln did what he did, and we're now free people. I think the thing I'm most proud of is what I mentioned before, the ability to go and do and be what I want to be. I can rise as high as I'm able to do. If I'm smart enough, if I work hard enough, I can go almost anywhere, because I'm old enough to remember when there were movie theaters I couldn't go to, there were restaurants I couldn't eat in, there were jobs I couldn't have because of the color of my skin, not because I wasn't qualified or able, but because of the color of my skin. And that's no longer the case now. And so I feel best about that.
Here's civil rights leader and current Georgia Congressman, the Honorable John Lewis.
It means everything to me to see freedom, equality, and a better life, not just for my family, but for all people. We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters, as part of the same family. The late A. Fuller Randolph was said over and over again during the 60s as we were planning the March on Washington. He would say, "Brethren, our foremothers and our forefathers all came to this great land in different ships, but we're all in the same boat now."
Here is civil rights leader and former United States Ambassador, the Honorable Andrew Jackson Young, Jr.
there is something about this country and the freedom that we enjoy that makes, as we used to say, that the difficult we do immediately. The impossible just takes a little time. And then I always also say that if you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. And it's just a matter of, figuring out who you are and what you want to do with your life and what God wants you to do with your life.
The project is We Stood Up, and teachers, librarians, this can be yours. It's a free download that's available for as a teaching tool. It's a wonderful musical tool, and we have the link at our website, kidscorner.org. The link, by the way, for Lincoln Financial Group, where you can do a search on We Stood Up, is LFG for Lincoln Financial Group.com. So this is easy to find, easy to get, easy to buy on iTunes, and just a really important document. One of the voices that you use is a voice that we may be very familiar from the news because he's still around, thank goodness, still in politics, John Lewis.
Yeah.
Boy, what a history there.
That was a very special day when I got to interview John Lewis. And I've interviewed lots of people in my life as a producer and composer, and been around a lot of famous people. And I ended up breaking one of the rules of interviewing. He got me teared up, and tears were coming out of my eyes when I was listening to him tell the stories of what it was like to be there, and how he was thinking about it. One of the moments on the CD that just, patting myself on the back because having put it together, but one of the moments that kills me is when John Lewis is talking about Gandhi and talking about love and talking about what discipline and strength it took to take the abuse that was being put upon him, people putting lighted cigarettes out in his hair and spitting on him, and knowing that he's going to go to jail when he's going the next day when he walks over that bridge in Selma. Not only knowing he's going to jail, knowing he's going to get beat and attacked by dogs, and he had to hold, as he says, love in his heart. And that was the inspiration for the song Love that's on the CD. And that and a little thing I heard from Maya Angelou talking about just turning hate into love, and just taking anger and turning it into love. And so that little segment on the CD just kills me.
Well, let's play it from We Stood Up.
I'm gonna take that anger and write it down. March into town, can you hear the sound? I'm gonna take that anger and turn it around and turn it into love. I'm gonna take that doubt and write it down. March into town, can you hear the sound? I'm gonna take that doubt and turn it around and turn it into love. Love, 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 love. Turn it all into love. Love, 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 love. Turn it all into love. I'm gonna take that mistreatment and write it down. March into town, can you hear the sound? I'm gonna take that mistreatment and turn it around and turn it into love. I'm gonna take that fear and write it down. March into town, can you hear the sound? I'm gonna take that fear and turn it around and turn it into love. Love, 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 turn it all into love. love, love, turn it all into love, 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 turn it all into love, 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 turn it all into love.
The New Jersey State Museum supports XPN. The Spirit of 76, the Bicentennial, will be on view starting February 14th. Drawing exclusively from the museum's own collections, it includes exhibited artifacts and artworks produced 50 years ago during the nation's bicentennial. Details at statemuseum.nj.gov.
We are talking about We Stood Up, an amazing project, and two of the people responsible for it are with me here in the Kids Corner studio. Allison Green, who is the Chief Diversity Officer for the Lincoln Financial Group, and one of the most wonderful, brilliant, a magician, musician, socially conscious human being, did I say enough? Rodney Wittenberg. You put together something really amazing here, and it honors the past so beautifully. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering, especially, there's a piece by Sonia Sanchez that I know is a particular favorite of yours, Allison. And what do you want people to do going forward? Where's the inspiration, not just to learn more about the past, but where do you go from here?
Sonia Sanchez's poem is about the fire within you. And as we talk about standing up, if there's something that you haven't decided or you're not yet haven't identified as your passion around standing up, don't give up. It will happen. And there's a fire inside. And we're encouraging all children, everyone, to stand up for your civil rights, for your freedom, and for your opportunities. And there's a way to do it. And Sonia Sanchez talks about it. And we encourage you to listen to it. Let it be a guidepost for you.
Well, then let's play Sonia Sanchez.
Hello, my name is Sonia Sanchez. I'm going to read a poem called Catch the Fire. Sometimes I wonder what to say to you now in the soft afternoon air as you hold us all in a single death. I say, where is your fire? I say, where is your fire? You got to find it and pass it on. You got to find it and pass it on from you to me, from me to her, from her to him, from the son to the father, from the brother to the sister, from the daughter to the mother, from the mother to the child. I say, where is your fire? Can't you smell it coming out of our past? The fire of living, not dying. The fire of loving, not killing. The fire of blackness, not gangster shadows. Where is our beautiful fire that gave light to the world? The fire of pyramids. The fire that burned through the hulls of slave ships and made us breathe. The fire that made guts into chitlins. The fire that took rhythm and made jazz. The fire of sit-ins and marches that made us jump boundaries and barriers. The fire that took street talk and sounds and made righteous in Hope Tech raps. I say, where is your fire? The torch of life, full of Nzinga and Nat Turner and Garvey and Harriet Tubman and Ella Baker and Dorothy Height and Rosa Parks and Harry Belafonte and Chavez and Du Bois and Vanna Hamer and Martin and Malcolm and Mandela. Sister, sister, brother, brother, come, come, catch your fire, don't kill. Hold your fire, don't kill. Learn your fire, don't kill. Be the fire, don't kill. Catch the fire and burn with eyes that see our souls walking, singing, building, laughing, learning, loving, teaching, being. Hey, 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 young brother, brother. Hey, hey, young sister, sister, here is my hand. Catch, 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 catch the fire and live, 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 live.
The project is We Stood Up. It is a free download for educators. It's accessible in CD form and download form. You can show up on Rodney's doorstep and he'll perform it for you, but I don't recommend going that far. What I do recommend, one of the things we say over and over again on Kids Corner is talk to the elders. Talk to the elders in your family when there are family gatherings and learn about their experiences. And we were talking about, get We Stood Up and maybe listen to it in the car as a family and talk about your memories of those times and how those times still impact today and where we go from here. I have to tell you, okay, education isn't just a word. It's kind of an amazing song, an amazing moment on We Stood Up. Let's talk about the importance of education. This project as an educational tool, but also how important is education in just making the world a better place?
For a number of reasons. It opens so many doors, not only personally, but it allows you to compete in the world that we live in. It allows you to be able to express yourself, learn more about yourself, and share more about yourself with others. The more you learn about what's happened, the more you can apply it to what you want going forward. And the Lincoln Foundation supports education through corporate social responsibility and our giving back to communities to ensure that children, particularly grade school and high school children, are getting additional opportunities outside of school to enhance their education, particularly in the science, technology, and math areas. So we believe that that's the key to the future: learning, growing, developing, and becoming educated so that you can give back to the community, so we're not put in a place that we're allowing history to repeat itself.
And I would also say too, the song "Education" really, it is one of my favorites on the CD. Also because I was so struck by not only the discipline, but the level of education and determination of learning on their own, even without a formal environment, of all the leaders we interviewed. Every single one of them just had a hunger and a thirst for knowledge and an openness to the world. Again, when you hear John Lewis talk about Gandhi and his teachings, and Andrew Young talks about just all the things he experienced as a young kid and how important it was for him to learn. And even my own personal experience, I talk about a lot when I go into schools and talk to young children. I tell them about how I discovered my four passions. I forget how many I have. And I always stress to them, I started making up stories and music and putting it all together when I was 10 years old. I wasn't great at it, but I kept doing it. I started learning about electronics when I was 10. I built my first keyboard when I was 12, the synthesizer from scratch that I played in my first band. And it wasn't something I learned in school. It was because I had an interest, and I got on my bike and I rode to the library, and I went to the library and I go, how do I build a synthesizer? The library's looking like, oh, what? A keyboard? I don't know. And so my dad actually saw that I had all these interests, and at Sears, where he worked, they had correspondence courses, and you could get them for free. So he sent away for one on basic electricity. I think it was the year I was in 5th grade, and that summer I spent the whole summer reading those books on basic electricity. And that led to basic electronics, and that led to home organ repair, which led to me building my first keyboard. So it's not only the education you get in school, but it's the education you get from following your passion and following your dream. And even if it's not available to you in school, there's so many places to learn things now. I mean, when I talk to the young kids, I sometimes say, who's the richest person in the room? And they'll point to the teacher or me. I go, no, it's you guys, because you have so much free time and there's so much that you can learn. And as you get older, you have less and less and less of that time that's available to you. So it's much harder to really take the time and dig into something and experiment with it and find out if it's something that you really love and you really want to do. And even if it turns out you go, I don't want to do that anymore, that education, that learning follows you your entire life, and it just makes you a better person.
Well, after all of that, we have to play the song. Education.
My name is London and I want to be a teacher. My name is Zachy and I want to be a police officer. My name is Jada and I want to be a nurse.
My name is Leo and I want to be actor, singer, and dancer.
Well, that's great. You know, to be all those things you want to be, you got to stay in school and get a really good
If there's something you want to do, if you think you can make it through, if there's a problem you just can't fix, ask a teacher, read a book or two, you might learn something new.
During those days, I just wanted to be able to walk through the library and check out some books. And I tried to read everything. I had a teacher at an all-black school. She was a wonderful teacher. And she would say, read, my child, read.
If there's something you want to do, if you think you can make it through, if there's a problem you just can't fix, ask a teacher, read a book or two, you might learn something new.
And I learned early in my career that if you surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, you will have great opportunity.
I'm an educator, I'm a teacher. I was able to open opportunities for people who didn't have them, to get them to look at their potential. Understand that takes hard work, it takes persistence.
If there's something you want to do, if you think you can make it through, if there's a problem you just can't fix, ask a teacher, read a book or two, you might learn something new. Ask a teacher, read a book or two, you might learn something new.
Here in the Kids Corner studio, it's Allison Green and Rodney Wittenberg. The project is We Stood Up, and you can find it on our website. Well, you can find information on how to find it on our website, kidscorner.org. We stood up. You sat in a studio, I assume, or maybe you stood, I don't know. But Rodney, you brought so many people, musicians, friends of ours. Tim Kubert is on this, Two of a Kind, Renee, all kinds of names where I'm looking at them and going, well, these are all my friends. Mr. Cookie Jar. Now, how did you put all of this together?
Well, as you know, and I've been working with kids and making music with kids since I think we first met at Project Learn back in '87.
Yep.
So for a long time. So and I've worked with a lot of the Two of a Kind, Cat's Pajamas. Oh my God, I can't go down.
Can I just say, not just musicians, but rabble-rousers, big troublemakers who want you to be better people and change the world. That's who some of the musicians you're rattling off here are. So it's no surprise that some of them showed up in this.
And then also running the Banner Project for years, doing education programs, a lot of ways, figuring out ways of using lots of different people to bring them together and create teaching tools and using music to educate people. And I owe a big thank you to Casey Mancebo from Clamor House Kids. I met Casey at the Grammy nomination party back in, I guess, a couple years ago, and I told her about the project that I was working on at the time, and she just flipped, and she was really instrumental in helping connect me to some of the people that I didn't know in the kids community, and was out there and booked a little bit of time at a recording studio and got them all in to just contribute, to sing some background vocals, to say a couple lines, to read a couple things, and everybody was so amazing and so gracious to give their time and be part of it. So we recorded some tracks out there. I have a studio in my house, Melody Vision, and it's a 200-year-old farmhouse, so it's a fun place to hang. And people just came over and we just hung out and made some music together.
Isn't it amazing what can happen when just, creative people get together and, just make happy things, make wonderful things. In this case, for a really good cause. You want to play We Stood Up?
Yes, with Mr. Cookie Jar. Oh, and Palatine. Palatine's another young, amazing artist he's kind of the big chorus, background vocal lead guy that you hear on all the songs. So he's kind of the big voice you hear on the chorus of this song, along with so many other people who are in the kids community singing along on those really big We Stood Ups, which is just so cool. And Mr. Cookie Jar's doing the rap. And some other friends, Kenny Ulancy's playing the saxophone on there, and it's just a fun song.
We Stood Up from We Stood Up.
She sat down and she sat down. She sat.
A 1955 December day, Rosa Parks worked hard for her pay. She waited for the bus, at last she say she paid her fare and be on her way. Sister Rosa was tired, had aching feet, so she went to sit down in the closest seat. The bus driver said, "You can't sit down, I'm gonna have to bring the policeman around." They asked her to move and she said, "No." So they took her to jail and we said, "Whoa, no more blacks gonna ride the bus until there are seats for all of us."
She sat down. She sat down. She sat down. She sat down. She sat down.
Let it be known by standing on your feet. Greensboro, Woolworth, 5 and dime. Lunch counter segregated at the time. David, Franklin, Joe, Ezell, Agritech students that were keeping it real. They sat at the counter but were asked to leave. What happened next you would not believe. The next day 20, the third day 60, 300 sitting in this southern city. They sat at the counter in civil protest. 5 months later their cause was addressed. The lunch counter was desegregated. The Greensboro 4 were celebrated.
They sat down. They sat down. They sat down.
We changed the course of civil rights.
We stood up
for liberty.
We stood up
for peace.
We stood up
justice.
We stood up
for creativity.
We stood up
for love.
We stood up
for acceptance.
We stood up
for fairness.
We stood up
for equality.
We stood up
for humanity.
We stood up
for kindness.
We stood up. They sat down. They sat down. They sat down. We stood up. We stood up. We stood up.
Apple Farm supports XPN. Apple Farm Arts Camp aims to ignite creativity, kindness, and confidence in kids 8 to 16. This gender-inclusive overnight camp offers non-competitive arts exploration in visual and performing arts, along with creative writing, photography, and more, designed to offer a transformative art and learning experience in a safe and engaging community. Registration for 2- and 4-week sessions is open at applefarm.org/camp.
The project is We Stood Up. It's a personalization and, a way of making an important time in history alive and truly relevant, which it is anyway, but really bringing it home in a wonderful artistic form. And Rodney and Allison are here with me in the Kids Corner studio. We Stood Up is their project, and I know that you work for the Lincoln Financial Group, but it's not like there's no Lincoln Financial Group record label that's putting this forward. There are so many ways that teachers and educators, librarians, but also families can get this. Let's talk about that. And that it will benefit one of the greatest organizations there is.
We walked down this path for the We Stood Up anthology through the Lincoln Financial Foundation, led by Nancy Rogers, and partnered with the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, because we felt to honor the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, his legacy of freedom, opportunity, and equality, that we needed to honor starting a few years ago with the 150th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation through the 13th Amendment being enacted, that what better way to honor that legacy than by aligning with children to inspire them to leave their own legacy of freedom, opportunity, and equality. And we did this with the sole stance of inspiring children. Everyone that's involved with this project has volunteered their time because of their connection to freedom, opportunity, and equality. While we are offering this anthology commercially, the proceeds go to, on iTunes, the proceeds go to the Boys and Girls Club of Philadelphia. It's free to teachers. It's free to other professions that will use this in an educational environment. And this is all about promoting the legacy that was set forth years and years ago, and for children to carry it forward.
That's a responsibility we're putting on future generations. I think they can do it.
Yes, I think they can. And also, we want teachers to know that there's also curriculum up there on the site that they can download. The curriculum is there right now. It's for a little bit older class. It's for high school students, but we're going to be we're encouraging teachers and anyone who has an idea how to use this to pop that up on our Facebook page. And we want to hear from people how they're using it and being able to share that. Plus, in the upcoming months, so we want people to keep coming back and checking into it. I'm going to be posting instrumental track versions of all the songs so that teachers can use them to have the kids either sing along with it or make up their own lyrics to it. Also going to be posting the sheet music so that music teachers can actually play some version of it on the piano if the kids want to sing along. And other things that we have in the works that are going to be coming up that will just support people being able to use this, which we're going to be posting over time.
I absolutely love this. It's a living thing going forward. All right, I learned about a person from history that I should have known about and never heard of until I listened to We Stood Up. Can you talk about Shirley Franklin?
Shirley Franklin is a former mayor of Atlanta, Georgia. She's a native Philadelphian. She was the first African American woman selected to be mayor or elected to be mayor of a major city in the South. When she heard about this project, she eagerly volunteered her time, energy, and effort, and spent half a day with us talking about her childhood up through her current, including what she did in office around freedom, opportunity, and equality, and how she was inspired as a child through the civil rights movement and her experiences and connection to the movement, which inspired her to be a leader in the community and eventually elected mayor.
And it is so amazing, when you hear these stories and you, like John Lewis is inspired by Rosa Parks because he's a kid when that happens. And then Shirley Franklin is inspired by John Lewis because she's at the March on Washington and she sees him speak. And the person who's interviewing Shirley Franklin is a young kid named Austin. Is this Austin? And he's inspired by her.
Well, let's get inspired by Shirley Franklin.
The summer of 1963, Martin Luther King led a peaceful march on Washington where he delivered his powerful I Have a Dream speech. Shirley Franklin, a teenager at the time, was there. Shirley Franklin was the first female mayor of Atlanta and the first African American woman to be elected mayor of a major southern city.
What is that like? What happened when you heard Dr. King?
As a teenager, not too much younger than you, I went to the March on Washington. And I went with my family. So I went to the March on Washington with my mother at 18 years old and my cousins and aunts. And I anticipated that I would love John Lewis the most because he was in his 20s. And I just knew he was going to speak my language. And he did. He was fiery. He was direct. He was about direct action. And then, of course, Martin King spoke. And then I heard the I Have a Dream speech that day on the side of the Lincoln Memorial. Well, when Dr. King spoke, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, this is an outdoor event with hundreds of thousands of people. We were mesmerized. When he painted the picture of what America could look like, when he painted the picture of children of all backgrounds and people of all backgrounds having full access and opportunity in America, I thought he was talking just to me. Yet I was in a sea of several 100,000 people. So he was, I mean, it was stimulating. The whole march was wonderful. But I got a surprise. I got the surprise that not only was John Lewis speaking to me, but that Martin King was speaking to me as well. And even to this day, some 50 years later, I can transport myself back in my memory to that time. And that is inspirational, certainly in tough times, and certainly in times when we're trying to figure out how do we make the American dream real, not just for some folks, not just for you or for me, but for everybody who lives in the United States.
Shirley Franklin. And also, no more us and them. A great sentiment. One of the great moments on We Stood Up. It's an amazing project. And I really think you are going to be inspiring a whole bunch of our listeners. There is a voice we have not mentioned that is on this, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And everyone has been inspired by him, by his life and the way he lived it, but actually hearing his own voice and hearing his own words. I was lucky. I grew up at a time when Dr. King was on TV all the time, and I got to hear him, you know, myself as a child, and I know it affected me. How important is it for us to hear the voices, the words in the voices of the people?
I think it's really important because so much of how language is communicated is the inflection, is the tone and the color, and just sometimes reading the words, you don't completely get the intent behind what people are saying, and hearing them in their own voice, you know, the pacing and the tempo and the timbre and all those things that allow us to communicate what we mean, you get when you hear them speak. And it's by the way, Martin Luther King shows up 3 times on the CD. He's in We Stood Up, and which was sort of the inspiration for the song when he talks about people getting up and standing on their feet. He's also in No More Us and Them, and then there's a quote from him where he talks about do not despair, and that was selected, I think, because every generation faces really, really tough times, and I thought that, you know, some people listening to the CD, particularly young people, may listen to it and go, wow, how did they get through all that? How did they come to the other side? And when things were so bad and seemed so bleak and so dark and just there was no way through. And I thought that quote of his really brings home what hope and faith and belief really can do to help you in those times where you just don't think you can make it.
Well, we're going to use Dr. King's words to bring home this edition of Kids Corner. Thank you so much for being here and for creating We Stood Up, both of you. And let's finish off with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Do not despair.
I have no despair about the future. I have no fear about the outcome of our struggle in Birmingham, even if our motives are at present misunderstood. We will reach the goal of freedom in Birmingham and all over the nation, because the goal of America is freedom. We will win our freedom because the sacred heritage of our nation and the eternal will of the Almighty God are embodied in our echoing demand.
Freedom, opportunity, equality. 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 Freedom, opportunity, equality.
In 1863, Lincoln changed the course of history. The Emancipation Proclamation, words that inspired a nation. The 13th Amendment set the slaves free with a promise of equality. The promise of America, civil rights. It's not just a question of black or white.
Freedom, opportunity, equality. Freedom, opportunity, equality. Freedom, opportunity, equality. Freedom, opportunity, equality.
The words written down at the birth of a nation in an independent declaration. Check it out.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Some were freed, some were left behind. It was just a matter of time for the red or white and blue to have freedom, opportunity for me and you.
Freedom, opportunity, equality. 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 Freedom, opportunity, equality.
No more outstanding. Let's talk about me, you and me. No more outstanding. Let's talk about me, you and me. I'm on the left and you're on the right. Each one of us feels that each one of us is right. We call each other names and begin to fight. We draw lines that separate red, yellow, black, and white. No more outstanding. Let's talk about me. Racial overcome. No more outstanding. Let's talk about me. No more. You and me. No more. No more. We could build a world where we could fly so high. We could find a cure where no more would die. We could build a shelter for all of us to live. Us and them may take, but we could learn how to give. No more outstanding. Let's talk about me, you and me. No more outstanding. Let's talk about me. I'm on the left and you're on the right. Together we're strong. Together we could win this fight. No more outstanding. Let's talk about me, you and me. No more outstanding. Let's talk about we, you and me.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal.
Let's talk about me, you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me. We talk about me. No more outstanding. I'm telling you, I wanna be free. We should overcome. We should overcome.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. No more, no more, no more. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. No more. Let's talk about it.
It's too hard. I'm just not getting
Oh,
it.
but you can.
But the problem is I'm not getting it. I've been trying over and over.
Oh, Sierra, you know, you can do anything you want.
Someone thinks you're wonderful. Someone thinks you're a light. Someone thinks you're beautiful. And that someone is me. Oh, I believe in you. Oh, I believe in you.
The clouds are forming in my sky. It rained all day, so I'll just stay inside. I keep on saying I'll never find my pot of gold, and that I've been told all my dreams have all been sold.
Well, look, there's a rainbow in your sky. Take my hand and believe. Come and touch the sky with me. Someone thinks you're wonderful.
Someone thinks I'm alive.
Someone thinks you're beautiful. And that someone is me. Oh, I believe in you.
You believe in me.
Oh, I believe in you.
The sun is shining, the clouds are passing me by. I use my hand to shade the sunlight from my eyes.
The colors of your rainbow point to your pot of gold. And you say that you've been told.
And all my dreams have all been sold. It hurt so much when the child inside cries.
And it comes as no surprise to me. You can't see your own beauty. Yeah, yeah.
Someone I'm alive.
You're alive. Someone thinks, someone knows. You're
I believe in you. I got faith. All your goals are achievable. Never let no one say you can't do it. When you make your mind up, you'll get through it. Athletes, doctors, lawyers, you can do it all. Keep faith and keep your head up. Now let the sun in. Don't let the clouds stop you from playing and running. If you gotta do like Martin Luther King, go for it. I don't wanna see you frown. I'm here to hold you up cause I don't wanna see you down. Make peace, love one another. Hug your sisters, shaking hands with your brothers. Cause it start with you. Yeah, cause it start with you. It start with you. Listen up, it start with you. Everything is so remarkable. Now listen up, cause everything, yeah, it start with you. Cause I believe in you.
That does it for tonight's Kids Corner. Remember, you can enjoy the music of Kids Corner whenever you want, anytime, any place. It's the Kids Corner Music Channel, and you can listen to it on our new website, kidscorner.org. Kids Corner is engineered and produced by Robert Drake. I'm Kathy O'Connell. Have a good night. Have a safe night. Please, let's all be kind to each other. And we'll see you next time right here on Kids Corner.
This is 88.5 WXPN HD1 Philadelphia, 88.7 WXPH HD1 Middletown, 91.9 WXPJ HD1 Hackettstown, 90.5 WKHS Wharton, and streaming at xpn.org. Member-supported radio from the University of Pennsylvania.
Do you hear the sound of the bell? Did you wish your family well? Times ain't the same in the neighborhood. Got the parents all going through hell, 'cause the guns keep flying off the shelf. Do you see the man on the street just fighting for a meal to eat? You can write him off as a lunatic, but it could have been you or me if we didn't ever find our feet. Love me now, hold me down, and the government stayed on every foot, and they try to keep us all down. No, they're never gonna keep us all down. Do you see the birds in the cage on the highway working like slaves? It's a con, it's a ruse, it's a gaslight. Ain't it funny how far we came for them to go and change the name? Do you see the man on the screen? Just a puppet, but you never see the strings. Calling it a war, not a genocide. Telling us it isn't what it seems. Man, that's a different kind of greed. Love me now, hold me down, and the government stayed on every foot, and they try to keep us all down. Love me now, hold me down, and the government stayed on every foot, and they try to keep us all down. No, they never gonna keep us all down.
Monday nights mean new music at XPN. Welcome to our new music show, the Monday 8 o'clock news. That is the West African singer-songwriter Monrovia, who's based in the States now. Put out a record to start the year called Bloodline. You may have caught him on CBS Saturday Morning as well. Good song from that new release called Heavy Foot, starting our 2-hour new music journey tonight, something like that. Yeah, we've got a lot to get to. As I mentioned on the show last week, it was kind of quiet right around New Year's, but the floodgates have opened. We've got a lot of new music to share on the show tonight. Brand new solo stuff from Kim Gordon. Al Green has a new covers EP. We're going to hear from that. And one of the real exciting releases to look forward to in the first half of the year here is a new album from Arlo Parks. We'll play you something from that next on XPN.
Comcast supports Free at Noon on XPN, the weekly lunchtime musical showcase happening every Friday and open to all. Xfinity Internet is engineered to deliver reliable network performance and a smooth connection designed to help people do more of what they love. Whether streaming, working, or gaming, everyone can stay connected when the whole household is online. Restrictions apply, actual speeds vary, and are not guaranteed.
On the next XPN Morning Show, we're going to say happy 55th birthday to Questlove with our 2 for Tuesday sets at the top of every hour, featuring the roots and the subjects of his incredible music documentaries. Us from 6 to 10 a.m. for all the news, tunes, and good vibes you need to get another week started right on your radio, via our free app, or tell your smart speaker to play WXPN.
Hey, also coming up, a once artist to watch at XPN, Bridget Calls Me Baby. They've just announced a new record. We will hear from them and one of their big influences in this set. But Arlo Parks, just announced a new record late last week called Ambiguous Desire. It drops on April 3rd. New from Arlo on XPN. This is called Two-Sided.
I've been waiting for this moment all night. Yeah, I only made it out them there and guarding his days. There's a butterfly effect, 'cause I feel my heartbeat climb. The moonlight cuts through wine. My friends are all inside. The heat and the dark, my head is so cloudy. You know how I feel, tell me it's two-sided. The heat and the dark, my head is so cloudy. You know how I feel, tell me it's two-sided. There's a sadness that I really can't shake, and my vision's got a few stripes. I never really feel at home anywhere. It's the right place at the wrong time. I feel my heartbeat climb. The moonlight cuts through wine. My friends are all inside. The heat and the dark, my head is so cloudy. You know how I feel, tell me it's two-sided. The heat and the dark, my head is so cloudy. You know how I feel, tell me it's two-sided. The heat and the dark, my head is so cloudy. You know how I feel, tell me it's two-sided.
It's a horror land. Destruction. Don't give up. I'm being sweet. Joy will build. A cute harmless world. Don't run from you, cold. Don't run from you, cold. Ooh. My cells and your cells need minerals. Try to make a map of the heart. Down your hollow tube. I hope to find